Do you think these objectives can be met? Like,
We have to try. You could say the same about sustainability. Can we develop a sustainable society? Well, I don't know, but we have to try. There's a moral or imperative for us to try. And certainly we are very encouraged by the results that we're getting so far. I mean, when you go to a city like San Francisco, that's up to 78% for cultural differentiata. When you've got over 200 communities in Italy, over 70%, and very quickly, and some communities over 80%, it's clear that the communities can do it. And we don't have to have everybody doing it all at once. We just need model solutions of communities of different sizes, which we have. And the last 20% is going to have to come from changes at the industrial level. And that's what's going to take a little bit more time. But by that time, I think people will have graduated from zero waste, thinking more in terms of sustainability, the big picture. And that's what's exciting about zero waste. I mean, we are involving every citizen, potentially involving every citizen in this discussion about sustainability, using the practical day-to-day problems of handling their discarded materials.
You mentioned lavazza during this speech.
Yes.
Is that more of a one-off, or does it happen quite often at these industries?
Well, first of all, with industries, we have much better news than lavazza. I mean, we have quite a large number now of major corporations that have declared a zero waste strategy. That's exciting. But even more exciting is that many of these companies, in fact, I think all of them, are reporting that in doing this, they're saving money. And that's a fantastic message. If they was doing this and saying, oh, we're doing this because out of the goodness of our hearts, we want to protect the environment, but it's costing us a fortune, we wouldn't have a hope. But the fact that, say, someone like Xerox Corporation is recovering 95% of the materials in their old copying machines and saving $76 million a year doing it, that is big news. So they're saving money on production costs and disposal costs at both ends of the system. Now, as far as the packaging industry, they are a real problem because it's really the packaging industry which is at the heart of much of the throwaway stuff that we find in landfills and in the residuals. And they don't want to give up this business. We've got to persuade them to go back to the older ideas of refilling containers and beer bottles, beverage containers, and so on. One of the responses to that is going to be, oh, we can't do that with our long distances of transport. We say, yes, but that's another good reason why we need local production. Because if we have local production of beer, beverages, wine, etc., then it is more realistic to recover the bottles and use them again for the same purpose.
So, in Sicily, we're below the 10% of recycling,
Yes.
over, was it 2.5 million tons of rubbish?
Yes.
How much do you think organised crime has influenced this?
Huge. I mean, the point about organized crime, it's monopoly. You get monopoly on the landfills, and then you can charge whatever money that you want. And you want a crisis. If you have a crisis and you're the only one in town that's got a landfill or an incinerator, you can make a lot of money. I would like to see the money taken out of waste. Whatever landfills that we have should be run by the municipality with the notion that victory is getting less and less going into that landfill, whereas the waste companies, the more and more waste they can put into the landfill, the better. Yes, we have to take back Sicily one community at a time. I can say that about Rifiuti Zero, taking back Sicily one community at a time. Waste is the beginning. It's an obvious place where the mafia is involved. And it clearly demonstrates if a community goes zero waste, they're not going to be friends of the mafia. No, because they're not feeding massive amounts of waste into the landfill. So I'm excited by the momentum that's building up here, not only in Sicily but throughout Italy. In October the 3rd, when Naples declared zero waste, which is an incredible event in itself, there were 56 communities throughout Italy declared zero waste. Then last May, when I was here, it had gone up to 86, and now it's in the 90s. And in this trip into Sicily this time, I found that several more communities are ready to announce zero waste.
That's great. There are quite a few of entrepreneurs and politicians around here that are proposing more incinerators as a solution to waste. What do you think about that?
It's not a solution, it's a joke. In the 21st century, anybody who proposes an incinerator just doesn't have any inkling of what's happening on the planet today. We would need 4 planets if everybody consumed like an American. We would need 2 planets if everybody consumed like a European. We've got India and China copying our patterns. And the notion of building incinerators in this context is absolute lunacy. Economically, it's lunacy because those stuff that are going to burn, plastics and paper and cardboard, are valuable items. Their value is going up and up and up and up. And secondly, when you burn, you have to go all the way back to the beginning. You have to go back, extract raw materials again, ship them halfway around the world, manufacture objects with them, transport them to supermarkets and shopping malls, and then use them for a few minutes and chuck them away again. So burning is the last thing you want to do if you're interested in moving towards sustainability. Every time you build a landfill, every time you build an incinerator, you're going the opposite direction towards as far as sustainability is concerned. But every time you reduce, every time you reuse, every time you repair, every time you recycle, every time you compost, you're moving closer to sustainability. And that's the point. We're moving in the right direction. I mean, every molecule in my body says we are right. This is the way we have to go for the future. And I'm not saying it's problem-free. You know, there are going to be problems with markets, there are going to be problems with making sure the compost is clean, getting the farmers to use it. But what I'm convinced, but there are going to be problems with landfills, there are going to be problems with incinerators, problems with doing nothing. I am convinced that our set of problems is worth tackling because it's taking us in the right direction. Not only in terms of our local economy, making more jobs, not only in terms of our universities, getting our professors involved, not only in terms of the planet, in terms of sustainability, but very much in terms of our children. It's their future we're talking about. We have to give them more hope.
That really brings us to our last question.
Last question.
Which is, well, you travel a lot, you travel halfway around the world, struggling to
Yes.
What drives, we of course think it's absolutely great.
Yeah.
What drives you?
Good question. That's a really good question. I mean, I can tell you what's not driving me. Money is not driving me because I don't make any money out of it. I'm not after office or anything. I'm not after fame or anything like that. I tell you that it's probably not the answer that you want. I really love the people that I meet. I really do. I just love meeting citizens, especially in Italy. It's my favorite country. I love everything about Italy except for politicians. I love the food, the wine, the history, the art, the music, the culture, the architecture, everything about Italy I love, but especially the people. I like the passione, I like the passion. I love that mayor when he came in and started talking about what he was doing in his town. I love the assessore this morning in Biancavilla, who was also passionate, who was talking about his work. I love the passione of the Italians. And the two most exciting places in the world right now for zero waste are California and Italy.
So it's meeting, when you meet the people once, it's great. When you meet them a second time, it's even better. You meet them a third time, and these are friends. I have to keep coming to Italy because my best friends are in Italy now. But seriously, the more serious answer is I really believe in what we're doing here. If I can get to the end of my life and say I have made a significant difference in moving the planet towards sustainability, that is something. I never worry about what's the meaning of life. What's the meaning of life? I don't know. What's the meaning of life? I never ask what the meaning of life is. I know. For me, this is the meaning of life. It's going out, helping communities do the right thing.
Thank you very much.